First order of business is cleaning my house. It got bad. Like, my plants all died while I was gone. Okay, I can't say all of them. I have like 20 house plants. One died, but I'm taking it personally. I felt like too bad to ask my cat sitter to water my plants, but I guess I should do that in the future. Needless to say, it was super messy trying to figure out like how to get back to Vegas. And once I finally did get home and all those days of not sleeping, trying to book a flight, catch up on work and all of those things, like my house is still a mess. Come with me as I try and get my life together a little bit later than I expected. Okay, so first thing first, I need to take some progress photos. I have an entire video on ways that you can track fitness progress that isn't the scale. I have a pretty okay relationship with the scale right now. Kind of. I actually haven't checked the scale in probably like 6 months or so. Yeah, after going through an injury, I like knew that it was important that I kept eating. It was like everything in my little bodybuilder brain was like, no, diet, 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 like be in a deficit, like you're not able to move. But I kind of held strong and I kept eating the same amount, which inevitably led to some weight gain, but that's okay. I really think I needed it while my body was healing. So yeah, this will be my first like scale weigh-in and taping of the year and the first weigh-in and taping in a long time. I'm probably gonna be a lot bigger than I was last time, but that's okay. Seasons of life, you know? Really, one of the most important things you can do is set it up where you're getting natural window light. You can use a ring light as well, but I usually like to do it like this. Make sure to try and do it in the same conditions every time. So I like to always take my check-in photos first thing on a Sunday every month. Okay, time for measurements. In that video, I also talk about taking body measurements, so check that out. I think that's all I want. I think photos will do the rest for me. And now here's the scary one. Let's see my scale weight. So I'm sitting at like 153 pounds, you know, pre-injury. So probably around November last year, I was around 125 and I was really, really like happy with how I looked. And so it feels really good to be at a place in a relationship with my body where I'm not like freaking out that I've now put on 25 plus pounds. It's cool. I really want to spend more of this year in a maintenance or in a surplus than I want to spend in a deficit because there have definitely been so many periods of my life where I just never wasn't dieting. And I think it's really important that I've given my body this break. I train myself in the same system that I use for my clients. I'll show it to you here, but pretty much depending on the client, I'll have check-ins look different for them. So if there's someone who has a pretty healthy relationship with the scale, I'll have them check, you know, their weight, hip, waist, chest, all of those metrics. But for someone who may not, I might just have them do photos and like a waist measurement once a month. It really just depends where someone is in their relationship with their body and with fitness. And so this whole process looks different for each of my clients. And it's pretty cool that I've been testing out the system and that myself and seeing how I like it. And so far it's pretty good. There's just a lot of stuff kind of everywhere and I need to unpack and I don't know, join me. Things look way better now. So what are my goals for this next year? First is career. The first thing I needed to do this year was quit my OF. I was making between 15 to 20K the past 3 years doing some saucy swimsuit and fitness photos. And while I'm really thankful for the money that it made me then, it really put a toll on my mental health. I'll be honest, my fans are great, but having my body on display all the time was horrendous for my mental health. It was so incredibly hard not to tie my self-worth to my body and how much money I was making. So by the time I've published this video, my account's already gone. Goal 1, check. I'm a smart cookie, I'll figure out how to make up that 15 to 20K somehow. What really matters is that this now puts me in a position where that mental headspace and all that negativity I was feeling about myself is all cleared out. My next goal is I want to do fitness coaching full time. How I'll get there is by dedicating at least 20 hours a week to building my business on top of my 9 to 5. This will be incredibly hard, but now that I've quit my OF, I'll have some more time. Business branding and professionalism. I want to make sure my business looks more professional. This means completely revamping my LinkedIn, making a website, a mailing list, and having a Facebook group. I'm dedicating 4 hours a week to work on these things every single week. My next goal is to prioritize education. I absolutely love being a nutrition and fitness coach, and I want to do this full time. So I'm prioritizing my education to make myself the best coach possible. Things I plan on doing this year are completing a mindset certification, a hormone certification, and my level 2 nutrition certification, as well as attending an in-person event to help work on business and sales skills. I'm very confident in my ability to coach someone to their goals, but the running a business side of things is somewhat new to me, especially as it pertains to fitness. Next, I want to create 52 YouTube videos. I'm hoping by the time I create 52 YouTube videos, I'll be monetized. I know YouTube is a bit of a grind at the start, so that's okay. To achieve this, I plan on setting aside 8 hours a week to work on video content. Next, I want to work on onboarding 5 clients a month. I'm setting at least 4 hours aside to do sales calls every week to accomplish this. And I'm working on a way to make my onboarding system as efficient as possible so that I'm able to take on this many clients at once. My next category is money. The first goal in this category is I want to pay off all of my education. I plan on doing this by increasing my income and paying it off ASAP from coaching clients. My next goal is to make 100K this year outside of my corporate job. A lot of my career goals will help me work towards this goal. I just mentioned those before. Next, I want to have a better awareness of how much money I have. I tend to go from being like super neurotic about the money that I have in my bank account to being super scared to even look at my bank account. This year, I plan on having monthly money dates with myself so I can really honestly assess where I'm at. And I hope by making it a routine habit, this will help take away some of the anxiety. Her first 100K speaks a lot about money dates if you want to learn more. And my last goal surrounding money, maybe this belongs in this category, maybe it doesn't, but I'm gonna call it the 1 in, 1 out rule. I overconsume clothes. I love clothes and I love fashion. I love thrifting as a hobby. I love sewing. I love upcycling. I love cosplay. I like buying cosplays. I like making cosplays. I like buying things for my friends' small businesses. I just own too much clothing, and on top of this, I just spend too much money on clothing. I want to move to a walkable city in the next 5 years. It's a big goal of mine that I really care about, but if I'm gonna move to a city, I need to downsize. I live by myself in a 3-bedroom house, and there's a lot of closet space, but that is not gonna be the case if I live somewhere like Seattle or Chicago. I empty my closets out pretty frequently, but every time I do, more stuff comes in. So my goal is I'm only allowed to buy clothing with money I made selling my older clothing. I'm hoping this will make me a little more mindful of what's coming in and out of my house. I have a video here on some of my tips to doing a closet purge if this is something that you struggle with too. Friendship, that's the next category. So the first goal of mine is to see my bestie from out of state. This year I met one of my internet besties. Him and I have been online friends for like 3+ years now. And this year I got to see him twice and it was really awesome. So I want to make sure that I see him like quarterly, so 4 times a year. And I'm gonna accomplish this because I have like so many flight miles. So now I just need to like hold myself to actually go and make those trips. I also want to see my local besties at least 2 times a month. This sounds like a small goal, but honestly, as adults and as entrepreneurs, I find we have to be really intentional about making times to hang out with our friends. So, health and fitness, this is the fun one. Okay, So I have done such an incredible job repairing my relationship to food. Still, there are moments where my bodybuilder brain can't help but feel so physique focused. So for that reason, I've decided this year I want to compete in a strongman competition or a powerlifting competition. I'm accomplishing this by working with a strength coach for at least 4 months. I've already started, it's been super fun, and I'm really excited to see how I grow within this. I already feel much stronger, and it just goes to show, like, I've been weightlifting for 10 plus years now, and even me as a coach can still be coached to learn new things, and I'm learning so much through this experience already. And this last one is a super important goal to me. It's to spend more time at maintenance or surplus calories than in a deficit. So there have been years of my life where I was chasing a smaller number on the scale. I was constantly dieting. I'd never eaten at maintenance, and over time, because I was constantly dieting, this drove my metabolism to slow down, making it so that I was barely eating any food at all. I was essentially a walking corpse. This year, I plan to spend more time at maintenance, and I will accomplish this by only allowing myself to enter a deficit for a maximum of 4 months this year. Ideally, I'll only spend 3 months in a deficit, but I'll allow myself 4 just in case my body is a little stubborn while cutting. This year is going to be radically different from years in the past, and I can't wait.